Good day to you all, my wonderful children. How are you all doing? Hope you're keeping safe. How is daddy? How is mommy? And I hope you're washing your hands thoroughly under running water with soap and you're applying alcohol-based sanitizer. And you're going out, if you must go out at all, with daddy and mommy with your nose covered with a nose mask. Okay, having said all of that, I hope you are accessing all the notes we've been sending online through this medium Zoom. We've been able to teach quite a number of topics and we've covered some subjects too as well. Please do go online to access these videos for the subject and the topics we have taught. And make sure you also access the lesson notes online. It has been pasted there. Please do download, do the assignment that you're given, and please read your books. It is very important because as soon as this whole pandemic issue is over, the next thing will be all the external examinations coming your way. And I pray the Lord will crown our effort with success in Jesus' mighty name. All right. I welcome you all again to yet another class. Today, we shall be looking at a new subject and a new topic. A new subject and a new topic. The subject we're looking at today is social studies. The subject we're looking at today for the third week is social studies, and the class is primary 6 victory. So come on board with me as I take you on a journey through this subject and treating this topic together. It promises to be very interactive and interesting. It's quite an interesting topic we're treating today, and the topic is gender discrimination. I know you must have heard that word before, but what does gender discrimination mean? Which area in our community or society are we experiencing gender discrimination? All that and more you shall get very soon. But before we go into details in today's topic, let's look at the behavioral objectives, or what we call learning objectives. Like I keep telling you, learning objectives are those things you're expected to know at the end of the class. Those things you're expected to know at the end of the class. Like I've just told you, we shall be looking at gender discrimination, and at the end of this class, you're expected to be able to define gender discrimination. At the end of today's class, you should be able to define what gender discrimination is. You should be able to identify the areas gender discrimination occurs in our society. You should be able to identify areas in which gender discrimination occurs in your society or community. Then thirdly, you should be able to list the consequences of gender discrimination. Result, effect, aftermath. That's what consequences means. The result, the effect, the aftermath of gender discrimination. Then fourth, you should be able to suggest possible ways through which gender discrimination can be reduced. You should be able to suggest through several ways through which gender discrimination can be reduced. Okay, come with me on this journey as I take you on a roller coaster to the depth meaning of gender discrimination and areas where gender discrimination occurs. All right, welcome with me on board. All right, like I said, what is gender discrimination? If you've ever heard that word, okay, let me break it down to you, or break it down for you. What is gender? When you're talking about gender, we're talking about male and female, the sexes that we have on the surface of the earth. All human beings are created male and female. All living things on the surface of the earth are created male and female. Now, when certain rights and privileges are given or denied a particular person based on gender, we can say that this is gender discrimination. If that is too complex for you, let me quickly cite an example. For instance, you as a girl or you as a female, you intend to do a certain thing at home, and you're being told, oh, that thing you intend doing is not meant for girls. That thing you intend doing is not meant for female. It's a guy thing, it's a boy thing, it's a male thing. That is gender discrimination. Who says what a man can do, a female cannot do better? Who says what a man can do, a woman cannot do better? Who says what a woman can do, a male or a man cannot do better? So when certain rights and privileges are denied based on gender, we say that is gender discrimination. All right, all that and more you shall get to know in the course of today's topic. Now, my definition right here, I said gender discrimination is the differences in the role of male and female. Gender discrimination is the differences in the role of male and female imposed by our customs and culture. Now, naturally, we are born in a society or community where our culture and custom is very important because it shapes us. Our culture and tradition shapes us because it's our way of life. Culture is the way of life, is who we are as a people, is who we are as a man, as a woman, is who we are as a girl, as a boy, is what defines us. Culture and tradition, our customs, is what tells us what a man can do or what a woman can do. And so, these are culture, our tradition, our custom, impose a lot of gender discrimination on us because we are told certain things are meant for boys and certain things are meant for girls. For instance, we hear something like, girls are meant to do the house chores, girls are meant to know how to sweep, girls are meant to know how to wash the dishes, girls are meant to know how to do the laundry. Who says a boy cannot do the laundry? Who says a boy cannot do the dishes? Who says a boy cannot do house chores like sweeping and the rest of it? Now, girls are also meant to know how to cook. That is what culture says. That is what our tradition and custom says, that girls should know how to cook. Who says a man too, or a boy child, should not learn how to cook? We've had great cooks who are male, and we still have great cooks who are male. So who says male can cook better than female? So please, all these areas like gender discrimination occurs in our homes, occurs in workplaces, occurs in religious organization. I will let you, as we go on in today's topic, I will begin to tell you those places where gender discrimination occurs. So there are several areas of our lives, our society, our community, where gender discrimination is being imposed on us, and that shouldn't be. We should change the narratives. We should change that order because we no longer live in those times where our eyes are black, where our forebears, our grandparents tells us this is what male can do and this is what female can do. So let's go on. So I said here that the root cause of gender discrimination is based on culture. I just said it. The root cause of gender discrimination, the root cause of gender discrimination is based on culture. Culture defines who a woman and men, culture defines who women and men are and what they do. So I said it earlier, culture defines us. Culture tells us what we can do as men. Culture defines what we can do as women, and so puts limitations on us. And those limitations need to be broken because women can do as much as the men. Men can do as much as the women. You get it now? So let's continue. I also said here that gender discrimination is not only based on gender differences, but on how people are treated differently because of their sex. So gender discrimination is not only based on gender differences. Gender discrimination is not as a result of, oh, he is a male, oh, he is a female, oh, he is a girl, oh, he is a boy. But it's also based on how we are treated differently. I give you an instance. The girl child, in some family, in some culture, they pamper the girl child more. While in some culture, they pamper the boy child more. It shouldn't be. Both boys and girls should be treated equally without difference. They should be treated equally because at the end of the day, they are both children. In some organizations, some key positions are given to the men, while the women are relegated to the background. They are not allowed to get to those key positions. Why? Are they not human beings? Are women not human beings? So those are gender discrimination. Even in our churches, some roles, some posts are given to the men, while women are allowed to just sit and fold your hands and listen. Even in mosque, men take the lead. I've never seen a woman calling the prayer, the call to prayer. I've never seen a woman do call to prayer. Why? Why shouldn't be a woman leading the call to prayer? That is what we're saying. We should give equal roles and opportunity to both men and women. Equal role. Now let's continue in this. It's quite interesting and it's a lot. Therefore, gender discrimination can also be granting or denying rights and privileges to a person based on gender. I said that already. If you're being granted a right or you're being denied a right because of your gender, if you are being granted a right or being denied a right because you're a boy or because you're a girl, that is gender discrimination. It shouldn't be. You get my point right now? So that is what gender discrimination is. Gender discrimination is granting rights or privileges to a particular gender against the other gender, or it's the differences in role of male and female imposed by our customs and traditions. Now, let's move on to the next slide. It's quite interesting. It's quite an interesting topic. Now, let's look at this. This one says, areas in which gender discrimination occur. Areas in which gender discrimination occur. I told you earlier on, I just gave a brief introduction to those areas in which gender discrimination occur. Number one is education. A particular culture believes that the female children should not be educated, that the female children should not go to school. I am angry right now at this time and age, and we still have such tradition and culture that says female children should not be educated. Do you want to know why? Because they feel, after all, she's a female. When she grows old, she's going to get married and she will end up in her husband's house in the kitchen. All her certificates, if she's ever educated, will end up in the kitchen, in the pot, cooking rice and stew and all sorts of delicacy. And so what? I said, and so what? That is gender discrimination in education. You will see that male children are being educated more than the female. Look at the northern part of Nigeria. A lot of dropout children, a lot of children who are not going to school, who are made to beg on the streets, especially the female. The female are married out at a tender age. Some of you that I'm looking at, I used to tell you in class, thank God for where you are and the family you are born into. If you were in the north, by now, most of you in year 6 in primary 6 would have been married out to one Alaji or one senator or one Hausa man. For what? For maybe 2 cows and some cattle. You see, that is wickedness. So in some culture, they believe that the female children should not be educated because at the end of the day, she's going to get married and her certificate ends in her husband's house in the kitchen. So look at, I said it there. As a result of some cultural beliefs that a female child should not be given quality and adequate education because she will get married to a man and her certificate will end up in the kitchen in her husband's house. Only male children are being educated while leaving the female children at home. How sad. It's very bad. It's very bad. It's very bad. They are all children. They should have right to education. Number 2, family role. The role we play in our various homes to give room to gender discrimination or give room for gender discrimination. I give you an instance. Some cultures believe that women are only to take care of the home while the men should work and provide for the family. But not anymore. If you check, your daddy and mommy both work. They both go to work. Mommy is supporting daddy. Is that not true? That's the way it should be. It shouldn't, there shouldn't be a restriction on a woman that wants to work, not to work. If she has the qualification and the certificate to work, she should be allowed to work and support the family as well. You never can tell. If things turn and there's a change in the man's finances, and it happens that daddy does not have money, or God forbid, daddy lost his job, what will happen if the woman is not working, for instance? How will the school fees be paid? How will house rents be paid? How will shelter, food, bills be paid? You get it now? So at home, certain things should not be limited to the girls to do alone. You boys in the class, stop saying your sister should work while you sit down, fold your arms and watch television, thinking only the girls should do the house chores. Hell no, that is not true. Both male and female should learn to do the house chores. You should both do the house chores, every bit of it. All right, next one is gender discrimination also occurs in politics. You must have seen in our politics, there has never been a female president in Nigeria. Ask your parents. There has never been a female president in Nigeria. Meanwhile, we have had a female president in Liberia. We've had a female president in Brazil. Why not Nigeria? Because the politics in Nigeria does not allow it. The politics we play in Nigeria only give room for male. It's a male-dominated terrain. It's a male-dominated politics. Many of the positions occupied by politicians are occupied by men. So it is high time women are given key role in political offices. Who says a woman cannot be the governor of a state, for instance? Who says a woman cannot be the president of Nigeria, for instance? Please, the male children, step up. So when it is your time, you will say, I want to become the first female president of Nigeria. And you go, work at it, and that will happen. Say, yes, I want to be the first governor of my state, and work at it, and that will happen. So let's begin to have this change of mind. All right, so that in your time, this discrimination against a particular gender will stop. All right, let's go to number 4, employment. It is common in some workplaces where one gender is given preferential treatment or receive less or more pay or job responsibilities than the other because of gender. Let me quickly explain that. We've had in some workplaces where only the key role, important positions are occupied by the men, while the woman would be relegated to the background. The woman might not be promoted, for instance, and if she wants to get promoted, they might be asking for some unnecessary things, having to want to sleep with the woman just to get her promoted. That happens a lot in workplaces. When women are being harassed because they're just women, just to get a key role or just to get an employment. Women are most discriminated against the most all over the world, especially in Africa. In some developed countries, they have put up laws that guide against discrimination towards the women. So now our own leaders ought to step up to and enact laws that will protect female rights. Female needs equal rights as the male. All right, so let's go to the last one. Inheritance, number 5. In some culture, female children don't have rights to their parents' property. That is true. In a particular culture, in this country, only the male have the right to the parent's property. I won't mention the state, I won't mention the tribe, but we both know that is wrong. The inheritance of a particular family should be for both male and female. Both male and female ought to have right to their parents' inheritance. It should not go to only the male child alone. That is gender discrimination. They should both share it equally, without sentiment, without bias, equally, no cheating. So these are areas in which gender discrimination occur in education, in family role, in politics, in employment, inheritance, like I have explained. And so we should grow to lend our voice to change these things. We should grow to lend our voice to change these things so that in our time, a lot of changes will be made. Now let's go to consequences of gender discrimination. The effect of gender discrimination. An environment where gender discrimination occurs, a lot of things happen. A society, a community where gender discrimination occurs, a lot of things happen. And these are things that occur in an environment where gender discrimination occurs. Let me take you through this. Now, number one, an environment where gender discrimination occurs, there will be underutilization of human resources. I repeat again, in an environment where gender discrimination occurs, there will be underutilization of human resources. What do I mean by that? A male or a female that should learn, contribute his quota, his part to the growth and development of a company or of a country. But because of gender discrimination, he or she is not given that opportunity. What do you think is happening to that person? We are wasting human resources. The person's talent and giftings is wasting away. And that is what is happening. I am so angry right now. You get it? That is what is happening. Where talented individual, male and female, that ought to contribute to the growth of the country, ought to contribute to the growth of the company, they are not given the opportunity because they are discriminated against. It's like you are wasting the talent and giftings. And there are so many talents in this country, but wasting away because they are being discriminated against, they are not given the opportunity. So human resources are not effectively utilized where there is gender discrimination. I just explained that. Number two, there is denial of equal opportunity. Denial of equal right or equal opportunity. What do I mean? When you do not give as much right to a male as you would give to a woman, or when you do not give as much right as you give to a woman to a man, then there is what we call denial of equal right. We should all have equal rights. We all have a fundamental human right. And our fundamental human right is for both men and women, for both boys and girls. All right? So where there is gender discrimination, one gender is always preferred to the other. As a result, equal opportunities are not given to everybody. Like in some family, they like male children. If a wife does not give birth to a male children, she's in trouble. Because such family will not recognize the wife at all because she has not given birth to male children. You see? Meanwhile, in some family, they like female children. If a wife gives birth to female, oh, she will be most loved out of the wives. But if she doesn't give birth to female, they will not even recognize as male children. You see? So this is denial of equal right. Number three, denial of fundamental human rights. First of all, what do we mean by fundamental human right? Fundamental human rights are the rights that we have as male and female or as a citizen of a country. That is fundamental human rights in a country. The right that you have, the right that I have as a citizen of a country is a fundamental human right. For example, I give you few fundamental human rights. Right to education, that's one. Right to life, that's two. Right to own a property, anywhere in the part of the country. Right to fair hearing. I have explained that in some of our classes in class when school was in session. Right to fair hearing. That means before you are being charged for a crime, before you are being imprisoned, you have the right to be taken to court and defend yourself and face a judge in the court of law. Get yourself a lawyer and you'll be questioned. Then, if found guilty, then and only then, you cannot be in prison. But if that is not done, you have the right to fair hearing. This nonsense that the policemen are doing all around town is not good. All right? So every individual have right to fair hearing. So I have just listed out some fundamental human rights. So there is denial of fundamental human rights like right to work, right to life, right to education, etc., where there is gender discrimination. All right? Now, fourth point, there is demoralization. Demoralization is killing someone's morale, killing someone's enthusiasm, killing someone's zeal, killing someone's courage to do a particular thing. And that's what happened in an environment where there is gender discrimination. When a boy has the zeal, for instance, if you see a boy that has a feminine voice, what I mean is the voice is tiny like that of a girl, you see some friends or some people taking shots at such a boy. Look at boy, girl, look at you. You are not even a boy. Why? That is who he is. We are different individuals. What if he has a voice like a girl? Does it make him less of a boy? No. What if he has a voice like a woman? Does it make him less of a man? No. All this gender discrimination should stop. So, what happens in an environment where there is gender discrimination? There is demoralization. And demoralization, like I said, is to cause someone to lose hope, courage, or confidence in something. People become unhappy in an environment where there is gender discrimination. And such, that's why we see some people commit suicide. Teenagers committing suicide. Youths committing suicide. Some of them is as a result of gender discrimination. They have been bullied. For instance, a boy that walks like a girl. That's his makeup. That's how he's created. It doesn't make him less of a boy. But if he's being taken shot at and his friends tease him and they laugh at him at school and they bully him, look at him walking like a girl. Disgusting. And they bully him, they take shots at him. Such a boy can just think of committing suicide if he does not have anyone to talk to. You see, it will just start gradually from demoralizing the boy or demoralizing the girl who has been discriminated against. Please, whenever you face any discrimination, talk to someone. Please talk to your teacher. If you can't talk to your teacher, get a counselor in school you can talk to, or you talk to your parents. Get someone you talk to so that you won't get demoralized and it will not result into something bad. All right? Okay, now let's go to how to stop gender discrimination. How can we stop this bad thing that has been imposed on us by our culture and custom? It can be stopped. So here are a few ways we can stop gender discrimination. Number one, granting equal opportunity to men and women. Yes, let everybody have equal rights. What a man can do, opportunity that a man has, give that same opportunity to a woman. So give both sex equal rights. Number two, respect for fundamental human rights of women. Because women are mostly discriminated against. They are the one who suffers this discrimination the most. So we should respect the fundamental human rights of women. Recently, a student was raped and killed in Delta. All right? She just went into a place to read and she was raped. A lot of rape cases. It is not good. It is not good. It is wrong. It is bad. Respect the fundamental human right of a girl child, of a female child, of women. Do not harass them. Do not, rape them. Do not touch them, indecently. Okay? So, number 3, abolishment and cancellation of culture which discriminates against women. You can see all this as talking about how to liberate women, set women free from this gender discrimination, because they are mostly discriminated against. Let us abolish, let us cancel all this culture and custom that discriminates against women, that says a woman cannot be the president of a country, for instance, or a woman cannot be governor of a state, for instance, or a woman cannot do certain things, cannot be the head of a company. Who says? Who says? So, number 4, enactment of laws. Government should make laws in which will empower women just as men are empowered, and everyone who goes against these laws should be punished accordingly. Yes, I support that. Laws should be made, just like in America. If you beat a woman in America, you are going to jail. If you raise your hand on a woman or a child in America, and the police is called on you, bye-bye, you are going to jail. So such laws should be made here in Nigeria that will not give room for you to beat or maltreat any child anyhow, or for you to beat or maltreat any woman anyhow, so that our people will learn and this discrimination against women will stop. Number 5, equal rights should be given to women on family inheritance. Because women are mostly discriminated against, the culture of Nigeria, of Africa, suits men, the male child, more than the female child. So we are calling on all governments, sector and offices and politicians and leaders to look into this and give equal rights to women, so they also have equal rights to their parent inheritance. And lastly, equal rights should be given to women to take leadership position in social functions or gatherings. For example, it is now happening. Thank goodness things are changing. Now we go to functions where we have chairman and we also have chairperson. The chairperson is a woman that is allowed to take the lead in a function, in a social function. Several times in our graduation party, we've had a woman chaired the occasion. We've had women who have been the chairperson of the occasion. And that is nice. I like what the proprietor is doing, giving equal right to both men and women. If a man can be chairman of the occasion of our graduation party, a woman can also be the chairperson. And that is a good thing. That is a good development. And that is where this whole thing should turn towards, so that the discrimination against a particular gender will stop. I hope you have learned a lot. I hope you take this further and educate everyone around you that it is wrong, it is bad to discriminate against a particular gender. The equal right should be given to both male and female. House chores should be done by both male and female, and therefore this will go on to affect our culture positively and our way of life and the way we see things and the way we reason, and our society will be better for it. Right, we have come to the end of today's class. I hope you enjoyed the topic. It was quite interactive. It was quite passionate and emotional topic that we have treated today. And I hope you will go online to access the notes and do the assignments you're given. Please don't forget, I keep begging you, read your books. Yes, 6 pupils, read your book, because as soon as this pandemic is over, the next thing staring at us at the face is your examinations. And I pray you will all come out in flying colors in Jesus' name. Don't forget, keep safe by always washing your hands under running water with soap and applying hand sanitizer. And then, if you must go out with daddy and mommy, use a nose mask. Until I come your way again on this same place, my name remains Mr. Ogunlaro. Love you all. Bye for now.